the weekend on PlayStation. They don't want their servers to get so overloaded they crash.
Yeah. Rusted Lands. We were just there. Crimson. Nothing but Titans. Interesting.
You say nothing but Titans?
Yeah, they're all Titans.
Great.
Titania.
Titania.
They're running. Bodied one. One coming up over you, Christian.
Yep, there's another
wait,
one over
no.
here too. Oh, what? Oh my god, truth. Careful behind you, Reef.
Yeah.
Truth hurts.
Oh, shotgun. Felwinters. Suppose I don't know. Suppose that or Mindbenders, really.
I was about to say Mindbenders. What's the primary shotgun?
I see your head through the trees.
Dust Rock.
Over there, in them trees.
I'm sad that they nerfed Dust Rock, because that was such a good shotgun.
Dust Rock Blues?
Sniper rifle.
Above you.
I'm just used to the range it used to have, so I always overestimate and miss kills. Yeah, mine is a god roll from back in the day, but it's just, it used to be so much better. It's still a good gun, don't get me wrong. It just used to be so much better and I'm used to it from back then, so I just always am just short. I could train myself to be better with it, but why when Felwinters exists?
Mm-hmm. And we went on one hell of an adventure for that weapon.
Oh, Dust Rock?
No, not Dust Rock, Felwinters.
I got that on the last day of the season. I almost missed it. And me and Christian realized we weren't going to finish the Nightfall quest.
Bye.
For what?
The Nightfall quest from last season, the Vanguard.
They gotta push us.
Yeah.
Just don't get too fucking... They're pulling up from our spawn. Bye.
Good shit.
I was like switching characters to make sure I had all the season pass stuff, and I realized I didn't have the Felwinters quest done, so I finished it on the last day. It's just like, no, I need it.
Ha!
Ah, god damn it.
Ooh, god, that hurts.
Yeah, as soon as that shotgun became available to finish, I was like, fuck.
Oof.
On it.
Mine.
Yeah, basically.
Almost had him. He's weak. 2 are coming on to you, Jake.
What a player.
Oh my god, thank you. Body. Okay.
Fuck, that Alatha's good.
Control.
Whew.
Suppressed.
Oh, okay.
Nice, well done.
Fuck am I going?
Enemy claims zone A.
Nice
Ha.
shit.
I'm just competing with you, I'm not competing with them. Pushing around for the flank with Jake.
Coming in behind.
Enemy claims zone
Oof.
You captured zone A.
Trade.
Zone
Nice.
advantage is yours.
Put on a summoner.
Who did? They did?
Yeah. This skinny looking one.
Skinny looking one. They're going for heavy.
Yeah.
Bye bye. Drop that heavy, son.
Double down.
Does the, like, heavy ammo glitch still do the thing? Where, like, if you kill someone while they're using it, it still drops?
Ah!
You're pulling ahead.
Where what?
That's a regular sword, too.
Nice. Where you kill someone while they're using heavy, and then you still get the full heavy from it?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yes, you do. I just did.
Side. I think they're all thinking.
Pretty sure they are.
Better.
Yeah, they don't want this.
Still one thing that
They don't
really...
want the smoke.
Or the fire.
Pushing through
Got
middle.
your Overwatch. Okay, pushing up.
Shit.
You captured zone B. Zone advantage is yours. Zone C lost.
They're going through the heavy. They're in there.
Okay.
Enemy wants vengeance. Deny them.
There's one around left side too.
Shit. Ah, I got stuck.
Fuck, we had such a commanding lead too, and then one of our guys fucking quit.
Oh, that sucks.
With this super. I'm about to drop a fucking super on this dude as soon as I see him. If I see him
Senor,
first before you guys kill him.
What's that?
Mark, sorry. Mark, you were always worth 2 men anyway. You can do this.
You're not wrong. Oh, fuck. Wish I had a fusion rifle thing on my
Thank you.
projectile so that I could get
Nice.
more
Good way
super
to
off
end
of
it.
it.
What? What?
Ah,
That's one of my favorite lines.
That's what I heard too.
yeah.
That was all of them!
Zone
Yeah.
C lost.
Oh,
I love Shax.
Zone A captured.
he's
You
the
have
best.
zone
What up with that 4.0?
Damn. The legend's back.
Right.
The legend is back.
The legend 47.
Well, I had to fucking put my sniper back on. Motherfuckers didn't want to play. Didn't want to play. Yeah, they didn't want to play mid range, so long range it is.
Fuck! I just activated my super, and all I did was just guard with it. Jesus Christ! I ran in there, threw a shield, and it bounced around everybody. Killed nobody. I was like, okay.
That's rude.
So I did it again, and then it bounced around everybody again. I was like, I don't think that's how that's supposed to work.
Hello?
Yeah, I was like, hello?
Alright, boys.
Yeah,
Catch
no.
y'all later.
Later, bud.
And it's already almost 1.
Yeah, I'm getting off.
Like, I guess I should. Oof.
That's not even that bad.
Eastern problems.
5 minutes remaining.
I'm just hoping I get my fucking test results back tomorrow. I hope.
I hope you get them and they're
Sure
negative.
you will, man.
See, I do too, but there's also that part of me that's like, I hope that it's positive. Just because...
So you don't have to work.
No, because then I understand what's going on.
Ah, that's fair.
Like, because another thing too is like, the other part of this is like, if I go back to the office and anybody says a fucking word about like, so you didn't have COVID, and they tested you and you were fine, and you just didn't go to work, I'm like, do you think that I incurred like several $100s of fucking medical fees
For fun.
to get out of work for a few days? No. I was having fucking, I was having pains in my fucking chest, fucking muscle aches, a headache, a persistent headache, a fucking sore throat, no fever. I had all kinds of shit going on. Yeah, dude, I was fucked up for like the first 5 days, or actually from Thursday, for 5 straight days. I was fucked up. Today I'm still getting chest pains, but they're not as bad. I mean, I'm coming out on the other side of this, whatever the fuck it is. But it reminded me, like, how bad it was the first, the first day wasn't terrible, but like by the third day, or the second or third day, it was fucking awful. I was like, I can't go in, dude. I can't do this. It was fucked up because, like, what it reminded me of was West Nile. Like, it wasn't nearly as bad, but it was, like, just the same onslaught of symptoms. Because when I had West Nile, dude, I was like, ugh.
I can only imagine.
It was fucking horrific. I'm really glad that, like, because what ended up happening is, like, I had to go to the med cage and talk to the medics about it. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty fucked up, and they're like, alright, go to Tuttle. So I had to go to the actual, like, clinic on site, like, on post. So I went to the clinic, and the fucking chief medical officer up there was like, oh, you know, you're probably just fatigued. Cause I was like, yeah, I'm having like, body aches, my spine is creaking, which it's never done.
What the fuck?
I feel like really rigid and stiff. My whole body hurts. And, I'm getting these like blooms of pain behind my eyes. I have extreme light sensitivity. All kinds of shit like that, and
It's not just one thing.
you know, nausea, and he's just like, it's probably just fatigue. And as soon as he walked out of, as soon as he walked out of the room, like he was trying to give me like fucking like an Advil and a fucking box of crackers or whatever. And luckily my buddy Fifi was in there, and Fifi was like, hey man, pretty sure you have West Nile. And I was like, great, how long do I have? And he's like, oh, no, like, he's like, no, like, it's totally treatable in, like, these conditions,
It's
like,
pleasant, but you're fine.
it's not, yeah, like, people die from it in other places because they don't have access to the sophisticated medical care that we have, but also, like, we caught it early enough that you should be fine. And also the actual, like, fatality rate is, like, 0.6% or some shit like that. But he was like, yeah, it's not that bad. He's like, in these conditions. But, he's like, but you definitely gonna need to be on a battery of medications and shit. He's like, you have my number, call me if you need anything, I'll bring you chow and stuff. I was like, cool. So I went back to my room, and it just got progressively worse for like 3 days, and then it just stayed as bad as it got. It stayed that way for a week. And then I finally, like, came out of it, but it was like the day after I got the diagnosis. I got a dead man's profile where it's like you literally cannot do anything. You go to your room, you fucking stay in your room. And I went. They fucking. I was like sitting. On my fucking door, and it's one of my sergeants fucking sent one of the specialists up to yell at me and get me out of my room. And he's like, yeah, Will said you need to go down to the cage. I was like, okay. So I fucking throw on my PTs and I'm like fucking just sucking ass all the way down to the cage, which is like not far.
Yeah,
it's not even
imagine.
far, but I get down there and I'm like standing there in front of him and like I can't even keep my eyes open. I'm like fucking like just dying on my feet. And this dude's like, he looks at me and he looks at how fucked up I look and he's like, get the fuck out of here, Alan, before you give that to somebody. And I was like, that's not how it works, but I'm not gonna argue with you. So I just fucking left, went back to my room and fucking, like, cause I was sitting there, I was like, oh, maybe I can like play Guild Wars 2 since it just came out. So that should give you a frame of reference of when that was. And actually no, it was Borderlands 2 that just came out.
There you go.
But I was like, what? What?
Oh, no. I didn't say anything. Go ahead.
Oh, but yeah, so I was like, I can play some Borderlands 2, and I, like, fucking was, like, turned it on, and after about, like, 15 minutes, my brain felt like it was on fire, so I stopped, and I went to sleep. Went to bed at about 3 in the afternoon, woke up at about 2 in the morning.
Jesus.
And it was like that for that whole week. I was, like, fucking nauseated, but not, like, actually vomiting at first. And just like fucking fatigued.
Get out of duty.
So exactly. Yeah.
Sick.
Just sucks ass. Like everything about this blows. And yeah, it just sucked. But like, so it wasn't that bad earlier this week, but it was like it felt like it was like a low level constant panic attack where it was like this constant feeling of like pressure in my chest and just pain in all my muscles and all that shit. So yeah. I only have that frame of reference because I had my worst panic attack of my life 2 years ago, and that's why I quit smoking weed, because as soon as I started smoking that day, I was done, dude. I don't know what the fuck was going on, but
I thought weed was supposed to help with panic attacks.
Yeah, I think that it helps a lot of people. I think that it may have just been like my state of mind, or it may have been the strain that just like fucking, like I greened out or something, I don't know.
Yeah. Huh.
But it really did not do anything for me in that moment.
Yeah, I can't say I've ever had a real panic attack before. Like I've been in like panicked states, but it's never been like I thought I'd had a panic attack when I was like near the beginning of college, just super stressed out, and then I saw someone who actually had a panic attack. Yeah. And it was like, okay, maybe not.
Yeah, because I used to get anxiety attacks and panic attacks confused. Now I don't, because anxiety is one thing. Panic is like your whole fucking body shuts down and then your fucking muscles are like trying to crush themselves. Yeah. Like that was the only way I could describe like how bad it was. I was like, no, it felt like the muscles around my heart were crushing it.
Jeez.
It felt like someone was just like reaching a vice into my chest and squeezing as hard as they can. And all my muscles, I was like having to walk around like a fucking nutcracker because my muscles were so fucking taut that I couldn't fucking like move them normally. They would not expand and contract, they just contracted.
It's like tetanus, Christ.
Yeah, it was fucking terrible, yeah.
I've definitely had like an anxious
breakdown,
but never that bad.
For sure, yeah. Yeah, I've had a lot of fucked up shit happen just from like mind state alone, but big problem with me is that because I don't process things the same way as other people, and because of like some of it due to just the way that my brain works and has always worked, some of it due to like my experience in the military is like just put shit off and put shit away. That compartmentalization has like led to me being confused by like my like physiological response to like emotional stimuli. Yeah. So I'll get like in a really rough like mental state and I'm like, no, that's fine, I'll just put this away and deal with what I can deal with. And then it's like, nope, yeah, you're still panicking, you just don't think about it.
On the bright side, you acknowledge it and you understand it. You don't lash out like so many other people who are in similar situations, you know?
Yeah.
So many people just don't know how to handle it, so they vent it in the worst possible ways.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is, like, I am like hypersensitive to that because my mom is my biological mother is I believe she is bipolar.
Oh,
I
that's
don't think
rough.
that she's so I'm a monopolar depressive, but she was bipolar as shit, and she used to mix meds with her alcohol. So shit was real
So
fucked up in my
you had a
household.
rough childhood. God damn.
Yep, I did, and but she basically was just like constantly just flipping the fuck out, and I could never figure out what I was supposed to be doing. It's just like no
Yeah.
matter what you do, you're
Or
wrong.
what
So,
caused it, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. That's horrible.
Yeah, so like you grow up as a kid like that, and you're like, I don't know how to react to things, and I don't know how I'm supposed to deal with this, and no one's teaching me or helping me, so I pretty much just have to compartmentalize
Gonna
and
set
figure it
people
out.
off. It's horrible.
Yeah. Which is why, like, that's another thing too, is that she was a fucking huge liar. Like, she was
People with
pathological,
bipolar
so.
usually are.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with mental illness is that, it's not just one thing. Like, if you have one thing, you have a couple other things at least.
Yeah.
Like,
The
I
brain's a
am.
complex place.
Yeah, I mean, I'm monopolar depressive with anxiety disorder and varying shades of post-traumatic stress disorder, some from the military and plenty from before that.
Right.
And just like the compartmentalization, I don't know if that's like just a coping mechanism or if that was like, if that is just a part of who I am now and there's nothing I can do about it.
Right.
Because no matter what happens, that's like I am calm, like in the moment. And I don't realize the emotions that I'm having. Like the whole thing with my dad, like losing my dad, dude, I fucking didn't know how to handle that, and I just broke the fuck down. It was like years of just pain all collapsed into one moment, and then I was fine the next day. And then like a week later, it just fucking smashed into me like a wave again. And I didn't know where it came from. I just heard a song, and it triggered, and I was fucking, I was out like a light for the next like 2.5 hours. So it's been fucking rough this last month, and it's been rough for a while. But I mean, that's the kind of rough that I can handle when like life is shit and you feel like you're not accomplishing the things you want to accomplish and shit like that. That kind of stuff I can deal with because life is a constant disappointment. So I'm not super concerned about that, But then losing my dad, who's like the closest person in the world, like the only person I could talk to about, most shit that I would have no idea how to broach with anybody else. Losing him and then just having people constantly trying to tell me like, well, I'm here, bro, I've got you. And I'm like, different, man. It's not the same thing. It's not like I appreciate you trying, but you have no idea like what I have lost in this moment.
Yeah.
And it sucks too when you're dealing with family too. Like when family are trying to help and you're like, I know that you're trying to help and I appreciate that, but you need to understand that like it's impossible to take that space. So, and I've definitely been struggling with just like the memorial coming up because I thought I was gonna have more time. They had told me originally it was a year. I dropped it on a month from now, so I was like. And now they're asking me to like pick pictures and stuff, and I keep feeling like I've got time, and everyone keeps rushing me, and I'm just like,
stop,
not handling it.
No.
But anyway, didn't mean to drop my whole fucking life story on you, but
no worries. Why did they decide to move it all of a sudden?
I think that it was basically that like I think the immediate family, like me, my sisters, my brother, and our stepmom. I think that it was like we all had an idea of how this was all going to go, and my stepmom had to. She my dad was the one who took care of all the bills and stuff. Like she was the one that she has a job, but he's the one that managed the money and everything. So he managed the money and all the bills and all that shit, and she had like no idea about any of it because my dad always took care of it. He was also the one who did all the cooking in the household. Like I grew up in a house where men cooked. That was so it was always weird. That's another side thing is like growing older and realizing that everyone keeps talking about like women should stay in the kitchen. I've never seen a woman in the kitchen like once in my life. My sister can cook pasta and that's it, which I mean, good for her, but anyway, But yeah, no, so I think that we just had an idea of how it was going to go because we knew that Alyssa was going to need help and she was going to need to, like, you know, we were going to all have to be there to help her figure out what to do without Dad there. And, you know, we're all struggling, we're all going through it, but we're all going through it together, so we're trying to kind of just be there for each other as much as we can.
Yeah, it's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, and then, well, that's the thing is that, I guess, like, what ended up happening is there was a GoFundMe, and the GoFundMe, like, blew up, and people, you know, put a lot of money into it, and so, like, everything was ready, and we were planning on having it a year out, but then, like, the grandparents, like, my dad's parents were like, you know, let's do it now. So, I don't know why, I don't know what.
Closure.
Yeah. Which, like, I mean, I don't believe in that shit, so.
That's fair.
I don't believe in closure at all. I think that, you know, my dad was around, you know, in my life for 28 years, aside from 4 of them that my mother stole from me.
Right.
And, you know, no matter what happens from here, he may not be in, you know, these memories that I make from here on out, but he will always have an effect on everything that I do. I'm the man that I am today because of my dad.
Oh.
I would have been a piece of shit if it was just my mom. Like, I had to learn.
My dad has a very similar story, what I imagine yours. Took him away. Kind of moved him, like, every year for years until he finally was old enough to say, kind of, fuck you, and moved on.
Well,
she was probably bipolar as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is, like, people keep telling me, like, you need to forgive your mom. I was like, I forgive her. Like, I totally forgive her. Because, you know, what's, like, the stuff that's going on in her brain is not her fault.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that I'm going to allow her back in my life again.
Right,
Like,
no.
That's, you know,
that makes sense.
That's the thing is, like, I can forgive people for a lot of shit because literally everything that a human being does in a human being's life is entirely built around your circumstances and your environment.
How you process the world around you. Yeah.
Exactly. And as you're a kid, like in my case, I learned a couple of handy tools to deal with all the shit that, you know, all the shitty things that I was dealt. So those are the ways that I deal with the world. That doesn't mean that those are the right ways, but they're the ways that I know.
Yeah.
And so that kind of leads to, you know, everybody being, you know, having their own ways of dealing with shit, and some people, you know, cope more healthfully than others. And it's just one of those things, like, I can't be mad at her for, you know, shit that's not entirely her fault. Like, she made those decisions. But I'm just the kind of person that, like, I look outside of it. Like, when people start talking about the war, and I'm like, yeah, I was there, but, you know, I also think about it from the perspective of, like, yeah, but if somebody, like, you know, invaded America, what would we do? You know, it's just, there's so many sides to everything that you can't be, like, an objective voice on anything that you can try. So I try to take the subjectivity out of it and just be like, look, objectively she did these things. That is true. But also, objectively, the way that the human brain functions is based on these things, and it happens in these ways. So I can't really be mad at her for shit that's not really her fault. She's responding in the only way she knows how.
And I feel the same way, and that's always why I thought being a judge would be a really interesting job. You know? Just doing your best to make these decisions not based off of emotion, but based off of just the best facts you can gather.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, I think that because of the kind of person that I am, I would never want to be a judge. Like, because it's, like, literally just making a decision about a situation.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know about that.
And that's why I could never do it, because I can't do that. But I thought it would be very interesting.
It's an interesting idea, yeah, it's something to think about. But, yeah, no, what actually happened with my mom, if I'm ever, like, spouting too much, let me know, but one of the things, just a side note, the reason why I'm the way that I am, the reason why I'm totally comfortable talking about literally any aspect of my life or anything that happened, is because, there's one aspect of it where it's like, most of this shit is stuff that happened to me, so it's not like it's, like, not my fault, it's not something that, like, I did, it's just, like, shit that happened. Which, like, talking about it doesn't change anything, but it does, you know, over time it'll make you more comfortable with, you know, talking about important things, so that you don't end up in a situation like I did, where I was like, suffering for 3 fucking days, and I was like, I should probably go to the hospital now, because I've been feeling like I was gonna die soon.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the whole thing with that was actually that my mom, when I was, from the time I was about 5 to the time I was about 12, or somewhere in that range, I don't really remember exactly, but I know that my parents divorced when I was 4. And I was going over to my dad's house on the weekends, which was the whole thing. But she constantly basically put us in situations where my dad was a bad guy. So, like Christmas, for just a taste of this. For Christmas, my mom would ask for a list of things from us. My dad would too, and then my dad and my mom would discuss what they individually were getting for us, so that they would not get overlapping gifts. And then my mom, because she was the first one, would buy all the stuff that my dad got, except she would do something different with them. She would get like my dad bought me an iPod, and that was back in I must have been like 12 or something, or whenever the fuck those came out, but he bought me an iPod. He bought me a little iPod Shuffle, because that's all that they could afford, because they were, like, my dad's money was all going to my mom. Which she was then drinking away, and basically putting him in a situation where if he cared about us, he would have to continue to pay money outside of the court system to support us, which he did, because my dad's a good guy, and he loved us. And she constantly pushed and pushed and pushed, and I was like when I was very young, I was like the smelly kid at school, because I had ratty ass clothes and my mom never did our laundry and shit like that. So I'm this kid who doesn't have doesn't have any fucking life skills, doesn't have any, doesn't know about how to do anything in the house. And I had to learn how to cook for myself, but I didn't know how to use the laundry machine and stuff like that. And so I ended up being like the smelly kid at school, and people made fun of me. And then my dad was like, fuck that, that's not happening. So he took us to go and pick up a bunch of stuff, and spent his own money that was out of what had already been garnished, and took us back to school shopping and shit. Because she literally, this is not like an exaggeration or trying to paint her as a bad guy. She spent all of that money going to a bar called Vino's in Bedford, where she just drank away all the money that my dad gave us for child support. Our lights and electricity were never on at the same time, damn near. There was, or our lights and water were never on at the same time. It was pretty fucked up. And my mom used to tell us that it was his fault that we lived this way. She told us that it was his fault that we didn't have this or that or the other thing. It was his fault that, he never paid child support and all this stuff. He was a deadbeat. And, when I was old enough...
Believe her, yeah.
Right, exactly. I mean, you get gaslit like that for fucking years by the person who's supposed to care for you the most. What are you gonna do?
Right.
And, I went over to my dad's house one day, and I was brave. I was feeling really brave, and I was angry, and I was mad at how my life had been. Yep. And I called him out, and I said, I was like, I hate you, because you don't fucking pay for any of the stuff that, we're supposed to have. Mom said that you never pay child support and that you're a deadbeat, and, they should really, do something about that. There's, there's gotta be some way to fix this. And my dad was just like, buddy, this is all I can do. He's like, I do pay child support. And he showed me his check stub. And he showed me, where they had garnished the wages, and that it's clearly printed on there that it was for child support. And he kind of explained all that shit to me, and I remember, that's one of my, clearest memories as a kid was
Crushing
the look,
truth.
dude, no, the look of heartbreak on my dad's face.
Like the aha moment for yourself?
Yeah, just realizing how wrong I had been and how much bullshit I had been fed, and looking at my dad and seeing, how much it crushed him for me to say all that shit to him.
Yeah.
And that was years of my life that were stolen just because my mom was fucking petty. Jesus. And that was pretty much the moment that I was like, this is it for me. I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I left pretty soon thereafter, moved in with my dad for a while, and then
How old were you at that point?
I was 13, or I was 14. I was 14 when I moved in with my dad. And it was just a lot of dealing with you know, having to make adult decisions, having to make the decision like, no, I don't want to live here anymore. You are a bad parent, and that has become clear to me, and now I wish to move in with my dad.
Yeah.
And all that shit, so I ended up moving with my dad, and stayed there for a while, and then I made the mistake of moving back in with my mom for a girl that I met that lived in the city that I had come from. So, you know, she kept doing fucked up shit. I'm like, I had a bit of a lead on her now where it was like, I see what you're doing. You can no longer you can't poison me anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do any of this shit anymore. I see your fucking game, which is what I was going to say before, is the reason why I'm so truthful and straightforward is because she lies
dealt with some
all
of
the
that,
time. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that. If I have something to say, you're going to fucking hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you like it or not is a whole other story, but I'm going to say what I have to say, so it just is what it is.
Yeah.
I just don't want anybody, and my sister said it really well too, because she's like I was before the military and before all this shit, like before I started really figuring my brain out and figuring out the kind of man I wanted to be.
Mm-hmm.
And she said the other day, like, you know, we were over at her place and we were talking about the memorial and all that stuff, and she's like, yeah, Dad documented fucking everything. Like, he had like 12 journals and shit. He had like tons of photo albums. He took pictures all the time. So we had tons of pictures of him, but we sat back and all of us were like, we have like no pictures together. We have no pictures together. I haven't taken a picture of myself in years.
Yeah.
I've taken probably like 3 in the last like 3 years. It's like very up to date, and that's it.
I'm the same way. Unless it's someone else taking the pictures, I've never taken.
Yep,
Exactly.
same.
Yeah. And that was the thing, is like we all realized that like what she said really fucking spoke to me. She was like, I don't want to die and have people not know who I am. Like,
Yeah.
people that I know not know me. Like,
Yeah.
be confused about, you know, the kind of shit that I want people to know who I am and have, you know, information that I leave behind for them to, you know, to have and hold on to and understand. So I want to be understood was basically what her goal was, and I was like, that's a very
Admirable
fucking
goal.
very admirable goal, and it's also a very like, it's a painful and just a difficult thing to come to in this time. Like, just the way that everything has gone, and with like losing my dad, it was like just realizing that like without all those things, we wouldn't know all this stuff about him that he never really talked about. But he kept notes, so we knew all about that stuff. It was nice. But anyway, yeah, it's just a lot of fucked up shit. And you know, my dad definitely was the one who gave me, you know, a compass to follow.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude, I straight up almost had to dip out of that raid, man.
Yeah, again, man, I had a...
Oh no, I didn't mind all that. I was just gonna say that like my sister sent me a picture of my dad that I'd never seen before, and it just, I don't know what it was about that one picture. It just was like, it hit me again. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm gonna shut the fuck up for a little while, and I'm gonna fucking try to keep it together.
Feel that. So I just ended up doing a round of what I thought was Iron Banner, but apparently my dumbass fucking accidentally
Choice
went.
model.
Yep.
To what?
Went to control instead.
Huh.
I've done that. I was like, okay, I have time for one comp match. I'm gonna play a comp match. I'm gonna go to bed or whatever. And then all of a sudden, there's zones. I'm like, wait.
They
God
changed this?
damn it.
They changed comp? Comp control.
Oh man, that'd be fucking weird.
6v6 competitive? Oof. Too much.
Nah, man. 3v3.
I don't miss 4v4.
3v3.
I don't miss it at all.
I don't either. I hated 4v4.
You know what I miss?
What?
Spark? Is that what it's called?
Spark?
That PvP type in D1, where you had to grab the spark from the middle and fucking dunk it.
I don't know what that is.
For real?
Vaguely remember.
It sounds dope.
Yes,
I
yes,
don't
yes,
remember
yes, 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 yes. I do remember that actually.
What's it called? Rift?
Yes, because you dunked that shit, and then if anybody was near it, it just fucking caused everyone.
Obliterated them. Yeah, dude.
That sounds so cool. I don't remember that at all.
Dude, oh my god, it was so good. I think I still have a video from that.
Yeah, send it to me. Maybe if I see it, I'll remember it. Jog my memory.
Do I still have a video? I fucking hope so, dude.
Especially on the.
I had a video that was fucking incredible from that.
Especially on the airlock map or whatever. Your fucking body would just like float through space.
Yeah. No, it's gone. Dude, it was so fucking dope, man. There's a video where I'm like just juking the shit out of people. And fucking got to the end and fucking like straight up like chaos dunk space jam, fucking double jump all the way across and fucking just and killed like 2 guys near me.
Welcome to the jam.
Yeah. Here it is. I will explain it. Each team has a rift at their base. A spark spawns in a central location on the map. The Guardian must pick up the spark and take it to the enemy's team base to destroy their rift. Once the Guardian picks up the spark, they have 75 seconds to score. If the spark is not scored within 75 seconds, the spark runner will explode.
Oh my god, I remember this now. Yeah, because you you blew up. I totally forgot about that. Holy shit!
Fun.
For some reason, that line like is what jogged my memory.
Yeah, that was my favorite game mode.
Why
dude.
did they take it away?
I don't know. It's so cool.
That's so sad. I'm sad now. I didn't even like PvP back then. I didn't play a lot. That's probably why I don't remember it easily. But
I love
that was actually a fun game mode.
I love the whole thing of like information about Destiny. Anytime that there is like, anytime you have to dunk something, they always put dunking in like quotation marks. Like this is what they would say. They would say that it was dunking. And then you think about like that one mission with Cade where you're running through the what is it with the Cabal boss. And he's like, yeah, it was a pretty good dunk. Like,
yeah, that was such a fun mission.
What's a dunk? What do you mean dunk it? He's like, oh, you see whenever we grab onto things and we throw them into stuff? Call it dunking. Like,
fucking, who is the one talking? Hawthorne?
Soraya? Yeah,
Soraya,
yeah.
So I miss Cade, man.
Yeah, Cade's great. Unfortunately, you can't pay Nolan North to do 2 characters in one game. And
but Nolan North just took over at the end, right? It was what's his face from Firefly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I meant. Is like, you know, he like, fucking, dude. I never remember his real name.
I don't either.
I keep wanting to call him Malcolm. Fucking Malcolm Reynolds.
I
whatever.
His name either, but I'm
whatever.
His name.
Nathan Fillion. Yeah, Nathan Fillion.
Nathan Fillion. There it is.
Nathan Fillion is a man. Literally, his whole deal is that he's charming as shit. That's what he does. He gets on screen or in the booth, and he is charming. He just bees charming at people, and you can't really get a voice actor to imitate that. It is an inimitable charm.
I don't know. I think he did a pretty good job.
I think he did a good job, but I don't think he could have kept it up.
Fair.
He didn't have that many lines, but I think like I would love to see like another. I mean, I guess I wouldn't. I wouldn't really want to see like another Vex thing where they bring another character back. But if they were going to do it,
I hope
Cade 6
it was
would be
Cade, yeah,
far
for
more
sure.
interesting than Saint 14.
Especially because of the way they did his character. Like, yes, he's charming, he's awesome, but it also fully acknowledged the price that charm came at.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I think that was awesome. I think that was so well done.
Oh yeah.
And that was
What do you
one of the
mean?
reasons that made him such a lovable character, because he was real on top of being just ridiculous.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna go watch old D2 fucking cutscenes now.
And that, to me, is one of the most depressing things, though, that they didn't take advantage of it in D1. Like, I didn't even know who the fuck King was in
They did
D1.
in Taken King.
Like, a little bit, you know?
Well,
like,
that's what I'm saying,
he
is like
existed,
Taken
but he
King
wasn't...
was when there was a character.
Yeah. There was no Colonel, like, you know...
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, they waited, they had the character, and he did the same kind of stuff, like, the lore was there, he just... You didn't see it.
Yeah.
And you're right, there was a little bit in Taken King, but nowhere near the level there was in D2.
One sec.
Alright.
There's a whole fucking video on YouTube that is Destiny 1 and 2 Cade 6 best moments. It is 30 minutes long.
That's awesome. I'm so
yeah.
sad it's only 30 minutes long, but that's all.
I mean,
I'll check it out.
considering voice lines, dude, that's a lot.
In all fairness, you're right. That is.
I hate this
but
job.
At the same time, I wish there was more.
Yeah. Yeah, I love all that shit where he's like, take me with you. I love stuff.
God, it's already 150.
Fuck, wasn't so many... expecting so many people to just drop in like that. God damn, that hurt. Oh my god. I'm such an unsuccessful...
Zone C lost.
You know that,
Zone advantage is yours.
what is her fucking name? God damn it. What is her name? No, god damn it. I don't need this life. Fucking Gina Torres. You know that it's Gina Torres playing, Ikora, right?
Who is Gina Torres?
Who's Gina Torres?
You seen Firefly?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's a reunion. Gina Torres played, what was her name? Zoe. She played Zoe.
Zoe was Nathan Fillion's love interest, right? It's been so long since...
No. Zoe was Wash's wife.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Gina Torres.
Yeah, I'm
Gina
horrible with
Torres.
actors' names.
Oh, you're good.
Same.
You're good.
Oh, almost
my
never do.
brain is like a fucking vault for that
I
shit, generally
hate
speaking.
you so much. Change your
Me?
ringtone. No.
Opponent claims
Oh, the
fucking
ringtone? The phone?
The sound is from ReZero. It's this really like horrible sound that plays every time he like comes back to life, and I hate it. It's supposed to like inspire anxiety, and it works.
Whose ringtone is it?
Yours,
It is?
dung, like that.
My phone's
Dun,
off.
dun.
Oh, that was my phone.
Oh, it's yours.
Yeah,
Oh, you're
that's
the worst.
That's a regular Android thing, though. I don't know.
It must
I
be
think you
coming
just-
through the mic weirdly then. 'cause
I think you just have like PTSD from that shit.
I
man.
think I do.
But
That show.
but yeah, so the
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
god.
Gina Torres, who played Wash's wife.
Oh my god.
Which is fucked up because they used Nathan Fillion to great effect as Cade, but they're really not doing a whole lot with Ikora.
Yeah, she's kind of not a very likable character, and I get that's
Yeah.
the point, but at the same time, like, come on.
But like, give her something.
The only moment she's ever had was the fucking beginning of D2.
And
Where she
the
jumps
end
off and
of
Nova
Red
bombs
War.
the ship.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The beginning
Well,
of D2.
but also
During the
end
Red
of
War,
Red
like-
War as well. Like the
Oh
fucking
yeah, I guess when they're all
that shit
together,
was
yeah.
dope.
That's true. That's true. So essentially, the Red War is her entire like, oh my god, Ikora's a badass, and then after and before, back to.
Yeah, yeah. Sad because there's so much dope shit in there too.
Sean, I just did something that I never thought in a million years that I'd ever be able to do.
Use the sword and kill people.
Slid into a guy using what's the throwing knives thing or whatever, where everybody hated it for a while.
Blade barrage.
Blade barrage. Slid into a blade barrage, shot him with a bastion, killed him, and then died.
Yeah, nowadays it's a lot because like the knives explode after the armor wears off, so you can kill a hunter after he's done with the super before the knives explode. Like it's happened to me more than I've done it to other people, but it is a valid tactic. Remove them for their hubris.
So like he was, dude, I saved that clip. I was like, yeah, I'm saving that shit.
That's awesome. Dude, I'm still telling you that me getting Dredgen was the like most proud moment of my life because that was when Blade Barrage was almost at its worst before they nerfed that exotic.
Oh yeah.
And I killed him out of his super for the title. I was like, this is the best day of my life.
See, the Dredgen title is also my favorite. I know a lot of people like it's the easiest one, but for me, I've mentioned this many times, but I did Malfeasance solo. So that was like I worked my ass off for that thing.
Yeah,
because that was all before I had a clan or anything. I was alone, so it was like just me running through that whole thing, just being like, okay, this is going to be a long one. It took for fucking ever.
I bet that's a rough mission, especially the fight.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is, I found a little cheese spot, like, well, not a cheese spot, but basically I found a spot where I could hide behind it and basically just trade shots back and forth.
Yeah.
Took
That's
forever,
fucking
though.
sick, dude. That's so impressive.
Wow.
It's also why Malfeasance has like a special place in my heart.
It's such a dope looking gun, too.
It's
I
so
love
cool.
the Jade one. Oh, fucking.
I like the
my
regular
favorite.
one.
That was on sale a couple of days ago. You know that, right?
Yeah, it was.
The Jade one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had it since it came out.
Oh,
Like, I
okay,
got that
okay,
immediately.
okay.
Like, no, I mean, I love that. It's my favorite ornament in the game. Like, I
See,
love it.
I just like the original so much.
The original
like,
is so dope. I love it. It's
it looks
so
so
cool.
sick.
But I just love the other one. Like, it is my aesthetic. Like,
I'm
kind of
gonna pull that
Asian
shit up.
style with jade, green, and black. Like, it is essentially a gun made for me kind of deal.
Right.
But the original is so fucking cool. Like, I love it.
And like the ability that it has on it is really interesting. I actually, I've mentioned this before too, for sure, but I made a character in D&D that was a fucking warlock cowboy. And his,
that's so cool.
his arcane focus was a twisted piece of metal with a handle that essentially looked like a version, my own like spin on Malfeasance.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah. It was, what the fuck was it called? It was like the Hungering Maw. And it was just like, but instead of it being the way that it looks now, it's got like a wider front end. So it looks more like it fans out more. And, but yeah, I described it as being as like, instead of having a barrel, because in D&D, I was basically firing Eldritch Blast through it, which is the Warlock's like bread and butter. You can cast it as many times as you want, and at max level you can fire 5 rays, 5 or 7. It's a lot. So I basically just treated it like it was a pistol. So every time that I fired it, it was literally just firing a round out of it. But I also like was coming up with different ways to, I have like put my whole character into trying to figure out how to make it do like extra damage on hits. Yeah, once it gets to like a certain point. It's pretty fun. Plus I got to use like a real southern accent, which is always fun. But yeah, I love that gun so much.
That's so cool.
I
really
useful in a lot of
I haven't
situations,
used
too.
it in so long. I need to start using it.
It was the first weapon that I got to 150.
Was it really?
1050, yeah.
I'm still just hyped that I fucked up that Blade Barrage.
You should be, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Slide.
I had a great one the other day where it was just like, there was a Titan that was just sprinting towards me in his super, and I got him down just low enough to where, like, when he got close to me, I fucking meleeed him and just punched him out of his super and killed him.
Yep.
I was like, fuck
That
yes.
is a great feeling, sir.
Yeah, especially as a hunter, as a fucking, just very frail hunter. You like this knife?
Mm-hmm.
But I also did start fucking around with, I'm actually enjoying arc burns now that I'm using Liar's Handshake more often.
Isn't it great?
It's
I'm so
super
happy I was
fun.
able to introduce you to that.
Yeah, it's
It is
super
the
fun.
most fun PvE shit.
Yeah, I mean, as far as arc goes, for sure, I definitely am more a fan of just Deadfall. I'm more of
Yeah.
like I've been Deadfall main since Night Stalker came out in
Totally
Q1,
get it.
but
It is
it's
probably the
just
most effective PvE super,
yeah,
but
it's also just
Arcchart is so much fun.
like just the Deadfall with the Orpheus rigs, man, just fucking people up all day long. Plus, what I did find out earlier, I had to clarify and make sure I was right about it because I was avoiding it because I wasn't sure, but I found out that apparently it is confirmed that any enemy, if you kill an enemy with a weapon that is anchored, if they die and those other enemies take on that damage and die from that damage, it counts as being killed by that weapon.
Oh yeah.
So super useful for catalysts.
Yeah, that's yeah. If
Because I
you
remember
didn't
that
know
being the
that
case, I
earlier,
just
I am
forgot
so
about it.
sorry. Yeah, me and Chris
Oh no, I just
used
forgot
that shit
about
for
it.
years.
Yeah, I just forgot about it as well. Because I remember I used to use it like that, but I remembered it, but I was like, maybe they changed that. I feel like they should have changed that. It
Yeah.
seems kind of busted and super
I don't
dangerous to
know.
us.
I think it's fair because our grenades are such trash. So anytime we have to do
That's
anything
true.
with grenades,
I'm working on
it's
fucking
sad.
void wall grenades right now, man.
Yeah, it sucks, doesn't it?
Such garbage, dude.
That to me is the horrible thing about it. It's like everything else I can get over. Like we have things to make up for it, but our
Sure.
grenades are such
Vortex is
garbage.
not bad.
It is
I
the
would
only
agree.
He's
good
not bad.
grenade.
You're
The
right.
Vortex grenade, and honestly, Void Wall's not that bad either. But those, besides those two grenades,
It
the
just
rest
doesn't
of our
last long
grenades
enough.
are either by someone else and it is their worst grenade. For instance, the fucking Arc one, or it's just the worst version of every other grenade. The only
True.
time our grenades were ever good was when sticky grenades actually stuck to shit,
Yeah, no
and then they
kidding,
took that
dude.
away.
They did.
Yeah.
Because it only sticks to chest now, right? It's just like straight body.
No, sorry, I'm talking about the trip mines.
Oh, I'm talking about the flux.
Yeah, the
Like you
flux are
can't
okay.
stick them
They
in the
just
feet.
Yeah, they don't track very well anymore, and they don't do very much damage.
Yeah. Some bullshit.
They're kind of pointless. The fucking bounce grenades are way better, and
Oh
without
yeah.
Shinobus, they're still
Yeah.
kind of garbage.
Yeah, and if you don't have Shinobus, they're trash. But if you have
So
Shinobus, they're pretty fun.
every other class has just amazing, like game-breaking grenades. For us, literally we have one or two zoning grenades, and then
Yeah.
trip mines like are the easiest thing to dodge in the world. If they exploded like about half as quickly, or half as if they exploded with
Half the
any
damage
kind of
fast,
quickness,
yeah.
they'd be okay.
For
But
sure.
they take so long, you can just run through and be like, you thought you could. No.
Which is one of the things that I found a really cool build. Kane turned me onto it. Ophidian Spafa and
Ophidian Spade,
yeah. Well, I actually do think it's supposed to be Spafa. I think it's like
Really?
an old. I think so because like the E on it. That's the thing is like the E in many like Western languages, like that addition on the end can mean that it is a like a plural. It's just weird. I don't know if that's the case or not, but yeah, I was saying Ophidian Space for a while, but anyway, irrelevant. The whole point was just that the dual daggers with Monte Carlo top tree with solar plexus. Just fucking
Fuck.
hella incendiary knives sticking to stuff, trapping stuff everywhere.
I used to use that was like my main PvP loadout when Blade Barrage was like meta, and
Yeah.
I didn't want to just ult all the time. Like I'd
Yeah.
use Ophidian Spade, and you just get infinite knives. Like
Yeah.
they burn in PV, like they just burn. You get your knives back instantly. I still use it whenever I need to get like solar melee kills because I think it's better than trying to get headshots with the knife.
For sure.
but yeah, I used to love that. That and Dragon's Shadow, I used to love those two chess pieces.
I still see fucking Dragon Shadow a lot.
It's still pretty good in PvP, but I don't
Not
know.
as
I just
busted as it
prefer
used
other
to be.
ones.
Yeah. Yeah, I rock Wormhusk, man. That's my shit. Is it Spade?
Well, so it is Spade for this, but this is a large sheeting bract that encloses a flower cluster on certain plants. So I don't know if they're going for the same Spade, but yeah, I know I'd heard the word before.
Well, the reason why I say that is because Spatha is a kind of sword or knife, like a dagger.
If that's the case, then that might be the correct pronunciation still.
Yeah, because Spatha, a Spatha is S-P-A-T-H-A. So I don't know if it's like Spathe, so it would actually be like an A-E.
Let's see. I need to take a look at because if it's based off a flower, if it kind of looks like a flower, like a spade, then we'll see. I like learning things like this.
Shit that nobody cares about. Me too. I was on here for like straight up like an hour, I think, at least 30 minutes, just like telling Christian about various deep sea animals.
The sea.
Dude, mantis shrimp, pistol shrimp,
Yes.
fucking sandbox trees in South America.
Don't know what a sandbox tree is. I know what the other two fish were, or crustacean were, but...
A sandbox tree, Mark, is a tree that grows to be roughly 100 feet tall. Its bark is actually pointed. It creates these spines that come out of the bark, and it actually secretes a neurotoxin that paralyzes. It is also known as, colloquially, the monkey no climb tree for obvious reasons.
Right, makes sense.
But also, the fruit on it is not actually fruit. It's just kind of like a thick, like fibrous shell wrapped around a small amount of pulp. And the shell around it is actually like folded fronds, basically, like leaves that fold backwards over the fruit. And whenever they land, when they fall from that 100 feet, or however high they fall from, the way that they fall, whenever they land, because of how those fronds are wrapped, they basically explode outwards.
Ooh, oh!
Yeah,
hey, wait a minute. I've heard of that before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they actually have been known to break joggers' ankles on the beach. Pretty fucked up. If those things fucking got all ant-like and started walking around, we'd be done for.
El Dunzo.
Zone A lost. Zone C captured. 2 zones are yours.
Shit. Damn it. But yeah, that was actually what I wanted to do, was go into marine biology whenever I was a kid. So I ended up doing a lot of that stuff.
Nope, it is Spathe. Okay.
Is it?
Because Ophidian means like belonging or pertaining to snakes, pretty much. So it's 2 snakes wrapped around these daggers. So, and that's what the spade is. It's like a container, it's like a wrap-around kind of thing. So this makes sense.
Interesting.
3 minutes left.
But yeah, no, that's what I wanted to do, was go into marine biology.
Well, if you look it up.
Me too. That was my first interest.
Okay, let me ask you this.
Dolphins.
Was that the reason why you wanted to go into it?
Mm-hmm. Yep. But this was like a child wanted to be an astronaut thing. This was never I never took it past that. Like as soon as I got to high school, I'm like, I don't like the ocean enough for this.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
We're actually both right.
Are we?
Let me show you.
Dope.
Let me help you, Dragon Turtle.
Ooh, Dragon Turtle.
Avatar.
Yeah.
Why can I not find you?
I always thought about China when I heard Dragon Turtles, but now I was thinking about Avatar.
See, I always think about Community.
Community? Dragon Turtles?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a Halloween episode where Britta dresses up like a T-Rex, but Jeff is like, "What are you dressed as? A dragon turtle?" And she's like, "T-Rex." And then she can't pick up it. She's like, tries to like pick something up. He's like, "You're gonna have a hell of a time trying to pick up anything tonight." And she like goes to try to grab something to eat, and he's like, "Let me help you, dragon turtle."
How did I forget that line? I just rewatched it.
I don't know, man. I can watch any episode of that if I close my eyes.
Quote it.
I can't find you, buddy.
My old roommate was the same way. Wait, find me on what?
On Discord.
Oh, they changed my name. Little box of horrors. D&D reference from the night.
Can't find you. I don't know why.
Even if you look at little box.
1 minute remains.
I think I'm just doing this wrong.
Honestly, Discord's weird sometimes. Oh, wait, are you looking in the channel, like trying to add me at something, or trying to find me in a message?
Hold on.
Because we need to be friends if you're trying to private message.
That would be why. That would be why.
So you can like go to the add friend and find me that way, and then you can message.
Your opponent pulled ahead.
So how do I? What is your username and tag?
Oh, better yet, just go, like, if you're in Discord already, add me, I'm online, so I should show up in the super bots, and then you can write and message me that way.
That should.
Yeah. You can just click on me, and you can, there's a little direct message box.
10 seconds.
Okay.
Fuck.
I just learned this recently.
Yeah, no. The reason why I
Why
wanted
am
to
I so
become,
weird?
the reason why I wanted to go into marine biology was because of the movie Jaws.
Oh, really? I've never seen
What
it.
a wild reason.
Yep.
I thought sharks were so cool. It was like, I want to swim
So
next to a giant ass fucking shark like that.
See, that's not what that movie is supposed to inspire.
Yeah, that's the exact opposite of the message, the moral of the movie. I haven't even seen it, and I know that. That's fucking funny.
So most people are just like, what? I'm like, yeah. Like, they go, I don't think that's
It
how
has
that
been
movie was.
sent.
So I don't think that's how that's supposed to work. I was like, oh, well, I wanted to do that
That's what
because of that
happened.
movie. Yeah. So yeah, that was the whole reason why I wanted to go into marine biology was because of the movie Jaws. I thought that was so fucking cool. Massive ass, crazy ass shark just fucking stuff up for no reason. I was like, yeah, honestly, that sounds really fucking cool. Like a massive ass beast like that. It's like, yeah, no, I would. That would be so cool to see in person. So, yeah, I actually pursued it up to a certain point, man. Like, I even
Really?
went to, yeah, an orientation and stuff like that for college in Galveston. Yep, that was actually one of the colleges I was looking at before I blew my knee out.
What in Galveston? A&M? Or?
Yeah, A&M Galveston.
Nice.
So,
They actually come from the same word. Or, well, I suppose I should say. The space actually comes from or space or spadix actually comes from the Latin word spatha, meaning blade.
Nice. We were both right. That's so cool. Yeah, so I saw Spath and Spadix, but I just kind of ignored it because it didn't look relevant. I guess it was. Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, because I guess the plural would be spatha or spathi, maybe? I forget the, what's it called? What is it called? How am I forgetting this? The phonetic thingamajig? Or the manner in which, or the system that has been devised to properly denote sounds, a phonetic something or other. Is it a phonetic alphabet? It's not. It's something. I can't remember the name of it.
what did you just say to me?
I was just trying to remember the name of this thing. I can't remember the fucking name of it. I should know it.
I mean, you do have phonetic alphabets like Japanese, and I think.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not sure what you're trying to say.
Basically just the system that has been created to allow for someone to read a foreign language and translate it into like a Western alphabet.
Romanization?
It's the name of it, but yeah, functionally. But it's basically, because it's got like the long E thing right there. And the accent
you're
on
talking
the
about like the symbols they put above words, like how when you see in a dictionary. What the fuck is that called? Because now it's on the tip of my tongue too.
What a tilde?
No. But like you can put tildes above words. But what he's saying is like if you look at the dictionary, you know how it's got a bunch of weird fucking symbols for pronunciation.
Yeah, there's a
specific
that's a
system
word.
that
There's a
created.
word for that essentially language. What the fuck is it called?
Like the Inye and all that good stuff, all that shenanigans. Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, umlauts, all that kind of stuff. I mean, those are part of like actual languages. This is just like how to pronounce things, and English especially, but it can be applied to a lot of other stuff.
Right.
You captured Zone B. Now you are the wolf. Finish the hunt.
Not quite sure, my friend. Not quite sure.
Pretty sure I can find it this way.
Fuck. Missed. What's it called? But, yeah, no, that was, because I honestly wanted to go to either College Station or, Galveston. So. Those were the dreams, Sean.
IPA, the International Phonetic Alphabet.
Literally read it as you said it. Our transcriptions use the symbols of the International Phonetic Alphabet. I actually did not know that. I thought it was called something else because I mean IPA is just a system for a lot of stuff. I mean, IPA,
or
like sourcing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That was the timing was just so fucking funny. Like I'm reading the words as you said it.
I am your internal monologue now.
Oh Lord.
Dude, I used to try that when I was reading Game of Thrones. I had the do what?
Oh, you used to try what?
No, sorry. When I was reading Game of Thrones, I was trying to listen to an audiobook while I read the book.
Oh god.
And it didn't go very well.
That sounds weird.
As one can imagine.
Yeah.
You just read way too fast compared to the way they.
Because they're trying to perform as opposed to just
exactly.
Yeah, divulge information.
Exactly. So I mean, you're like going along and you're enjoying it, but then you get really into it. And you start reading and reading and reading, and then you realize you're like 12 pages ahead of where they're talking.
Yeah, exactly.
Just zone them out.
Dude, I was watching My Dead Body on here, and then all of a sudden I just see this guy get his head fucking taken off immediately after he killed him. I was like, God damn.
I thought that was a show for a second. I'm like,
yeah,
My Dead Body. It's
My Dead Body. I've never heard of it. But it also sounded like Dead Like Me or something like that.
Yeah.
Great show. Dead Like Me. Dead Like Me, 6 Feet Under. What was it? Pushing Daisies?
You know what's not good? Curse. Don't watch it. It's garbage.
Son, it's horrible. Oh my god.
Oh, you saw it too?
Dude, I didn't even get through the first episode.
The only reason I got through any of it is I just had it on while I was working, and I just kind of look up every once in a while, and I'm like, this is garbage. Yet for some reason, I just kept playing the next episode, and I finished it, and I still think the show's garbage. Like, I regret wasting the time that I spent while doing other stuff, paying attention to it at all. Like, I'm like, I don't...
Even the 0.5% of my attention that I spent on it was too much.
Too much, yeah. So it's weird, though, because it's been in the top 10 for Netflix for, like, 2-3 weeks now, and I'm like, how?
It's
There's
actually
so many good shows on Netflix.
Because the reason why I started watching it was because that chick from 13 Reasons Why is in it, and I was like, she's a great actress. This will probably be good.
Oh, I never saw it.
I looked it up. Oh, dude, she's fucking phenomenal in it.
Nimue? The main character?
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, she did a good, okay job, but I mean, I wasn't particularly impressed by it overall. That's extra.
It's just one of those things. Like, it's like you can't get mad at Idris Elba for the fact that they ruined the Dark Tower. Like, it's not his fault.
I've never read any Stephen King books.
Oh my god, dude, you are missing out.
I know, I've heard. I need to one day. It's just I've got so many other books that are like on my list. Like
I
he's
get
been
it, dude.
shoved
Believe
down.
me.
Like
Believe me, I get it. Because I have like 22 of his books, and I have not read more than like 4 of them of that list. But I have read 4 of the Dark Tower books. I haven't finished it, and I'm gonna have
there's
to go
what,
back to it.
6?
6 or 7, yeah.
Gotcha.
My problem
see,
with it was that. Good.
No, I was just about to say, like, Wheel of Time. Like, that's a series I've had on my back burner that's slowly rising to the top. And, like, I've got so many of these big projects, like, starting another big project is just like...
Well, and in that same vein, Robert Jordan, when he died, he passed off his last, the last book
Brandon Sanderson.
to his understudy, Brandon Sanderson, who is fucking my favorite fantasy author of all time.
He is the most incredible author on this planet. He's the most prolific writer. Every book he writes is fucking gold. It's incredible.
And like, it's crazy because like his fucking novellas, you're like, all right. He's just like, all right. Here's an idea that I had one night, and here's like 30 pages on it. It's super interesting. I'm not gonna touch this again.
Yeah,
what
fucking.
the fuck?
I just listened to his one about where this guy's like a god in a computer kind of thing, and I was like totally enthralled. And it was like an hour audio.
What is it? Endgame?
Oh, what
is it called?
That's right.
I own it. I own it for sure.
I read the hentai of it.
Rule 32 or whatever it is.
Oh my goodness.
34.
No, I was just waiting. Because I was like, I don't know any of these things that you guys are talking about.
Sorry, buddy.
No, Brandon Sanderson. But interesting fact, apparently he was not his understudy. His wife actually requested him to read that book, or to finish the series, because he didn't want anyone else to finish it. Like, it was his essentially dying wish for no one to finish the Wheel of Time, because he couldn't do it.
I did not know that.
And then his wife was like, this is loved by so many other people, and you can do this. Like, because I was parroting the same story, and then a friend who's like a mega Brandon Sanderson fan, who has been for like 20 years, he was telling me that story, and I looked it up, and it's true. Like, it wasn't his understudy. Like, I guess that rumor got propagated somehow. Perfect State.
Yeah, that's what I did.
The book I was talking
Perfect
about.
State. Yep, I have that one. So good, dude. Oh, with the chick that like fucking flips it all on its head at the end.
Yep.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's such a fucking twist. Like, it's dumb how good he is.
Yeah, because that's the thing, is it was like, what is that book, like 30, 40 pages? And he was just like, alright, here is a classic story, I'm going to do all this, and here's the story. It
it's
also
the Matrix,
has a twist that you're not going to see coming.
Yep.
Yeah,
He's
fucking so good.
And I can't, do you see the updates on the Stormlight Archive?
I have not read, I own the 3rd book, I have it here, I have not read it.
What? It's so good! You gotta read it.
Oathkeeper?
Oathkeeper.
Yeah, I have not read it.
Also, did you see the Kickstarter for his leather-bound ones?
No. Oh my
they're
god.
They're so beautiful. But they're like $200 a book. Like, it's just too much. Like, I want them. I want them so bad. They're beautiful. They're incredible books. They're the kind of books I'd actually reread, and they look so good on the library shelf, and I love having books. But $200 a book is just too much. Like, if it was $100, I might even be like, fuck it. $200, 2 books. It hurts, but they're beautiful. I love them, but $200 is too much.
What was your first Brandon Sanderson book?
The first book of the Starblight Archive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My first was Warbreaker.
Nice. That's a great first book. Like, I mean, wasn't that his first book?
No. Elantris was his first.
Elantris was his first, yeah.
Yeah, Elantris, then the Mistborn series, very
Mistborn
fucking
was
good.
So good.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Mine was Super Fudge. Just saying.
Super Fudge.
Well, Warbreaker I actually read when I was overseas.
Did you?
I got it in a care package. I read it fucking cover to cover. I was like,
this is incredible.
Is fucking amazing. And then I read Mistborn, and I was like, this motherfucker doesn't just do the one thing. He does other shit that's got a totally different system that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, his magic systems are incredible.
Yeah.
Like, they are fucking incredible. And they're so in-depth.
Even in his super basic shit, like the, what is it called? Where is it? Shit.
While you're thinking about that, on the same vein as what you're saying, his young adult books are incredible.
That's what I was going to say,
I read Skyward, And oh my god, like they're so good. I couldn't wait
did
for
he
the second book to come
Did
out.
he do Reckoners? Yes, he did. Reckoners was fucking great.
I just read those earlier this year. Yeah,
I love those.
Yeah, that's another young adult series, and it was so good.
Yeah, the Arithmetist.
Wait.
The Arithmetist, dude? Oh, man.
I don't think I've read that one.
It's super fucking weird, man. It's fucking, Okay, so I'll just read the setting. The world in which the Arithmetist is set is similar to the recent past of our own. At 8 years old, children undergo a religious ceremony known as Inception, during which the child's fate is decided. Fewer than 1 in 1,000 are chosen to become Arithmetists. Arithmetists are warriors. They use geometric patterns of chalk, called lines with a capital L, because of course, to perform magic with physical effects. Lines may shield a user, attack an opponent, or animate a creature known as a chalkling, which will do the Arithmetist's bidding. Arithmetists are humanity's primary defense against the mysterious wild chalklings. After graduating, Arithmetists is expected to spend time in Nebraska, actively using their gift and training to wage war, protecting the United American Isles from the threat of wild chalklings escaping the tower. The story mainly takes place at Armedius Academy, one of 8 schools that trains and teaches Arithmetists alongside non-Arithmetists with rich or important families.
Fucking damn it.
It's so
now
good.
I have another book to buy.
It's
son
so
of a bitch.
good.
Why did you have to do this?
Because it's good. But yeah, it's Oathbringer, that's what it is.
Yeah,
bro, the fucking Alloy of Law.
Mm-hmm.
You read it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god, Wax and Wane, dude.
Yep. Like you read Mistborn and you think it can't get better. And
I know, yeah.
The Wax and Wane Chronicles.
Hey, what if we push this forward 300 years? And you're like, yeah, there's guns and people like bending bullets and wild shit like that. You're like, what the fuck? And you're like,
That's
oh, okay, so it's gonna. But dude, it's just gonna be guns. It's gonna be guns the whole time. And then you're like, no, meet Wayne. This man loves hats, does accents, and beats the shit out of people with sticks.
Still
like, what
does
the
it.
fuck? He's fucking amazing. God, Wayne is like my favorite character in any of them.
Really?
Yeah, because he's just like it's the whole thing where he's like he bends a specific kind of metal. I can't remember which one it is, but it allows him to like slow time and heal himself and shit.
Yeah, it was one of the like.
And it also allows him to teleport across fucking space, basically.
He's so strong.
Vin's
always my girl though. Vin was so good.
God, Vin's so
that
good.
poor child, but God, she was such a badass.
Dude, oh my god. There is the twist that happens in the 3rd book when you realize about the what is it called?
I binged it so fast, I don't even remember.
The sequence where she realizes that she is capable of both kinds of allomancy.
Oh yeah.
When you realize what was happening and why she why her mom did all the shit that she did to her, because she's like, my mom was fucking crazy. She like killed my little brother or something and like stabbed him with a fucking an earring and then put it through my ear or some shit. And I was like, holy shit.
And you start understanding how the minions work and all that kind of shit.
Yeah,
like, oh
and like why she was burning when she stepped inside the well and shit. I'm like, oh my fucking god.
And how everybody got the powers in the first place. It's just so well crafted. He's so amazing.
He's incredible.
If you ever get in the mood to read Mark, like Brandon Sanderson, it's incredible. And he has everything from like we were saying, like 30-page books to his magnum opus, which is the Stormlight Archive we mentioned earlier, which are like 42-hour audiobooks. To give you an idea of how big they are.
I guess I could be wrong about that. Is the Stormlight Archive considered to be his magnum opus? Does he say that?
That's his.
Oh, yeah. The Stormlight Archive is super interesting for sure.
Yeah, because it's
I
only
read the first
books.
two.
They're the most in-depth books, and it's supposed to be a 10-book series. It's going to have the same kind of time skip. Because that's that is the most triggering thing. Because this guy that I told you was like a Brandon Sanderson super fan has told me for years like how good these books are. I'm a recent convert. It's only been like 2-3 years from them. And so I've read a lot of books in a very short amount of time, relatively, compared to him, who's reread many of the books. But anyways, so he was telling me how great this was, and him and a bunch of other his friends, we all kind of started reading at the same time, and that's really cool because you can discuss the books and all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But I didn't realize I thought it was a trilogy, because I started it right before Oathbringer was coming out, or not Oathbringer. Oh, what the fuck is the third book called? I just lost the name.
Oathbringer?
Oathbringer, okay, that is the third book.
Yeah.
I was like 3 months before it was coming out, and I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I'm coming in right at the end, and I get to jump right in the third book gets released. Fucking dope. It's not a trilogy. He's like, yeah, it's a 10-book series, and it comes out with one of these books every 2 years or so, and I'm like, you just signed me up for a 20-year fucking contract, you asshole. Like,
Dude, what was that book called? There's one more that he did that's fucking incredible.
But yeah, what I was going to say earlier is the whole Wax and Wen Chronicles gives me hope because he's going to do the same 5-year time skip. Or he's going to do a time skip again, but it's going to be, like, I think, 500 years. That's what it was.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to reread the Stormlight Archive. But, like, it's so fucking cool when he learns about lancing and shit. Like, or lashing.
It's so cool because it draws all of the books in that universe together that you don't realize are in the same universe. Because other than that one character whose name I'm missing that's in all of the books, in some minor role here and there, you know. I mean, he's in Warbreaker, he's in all of these. Do what?
Yeah, you're talking about, Kel?
I don't think that's his name. He goes by different names and everything, but his actual name is totally different. Stormlight Archive. Hold on 1 second. But yeah, like the shards of power and all this kind of stuff, like learning how all of these planets have all this kind of stuff, like it's so cool how it starts tying everything together, and that's why it's his magnum opus, because it's taking all of his books that were like, secretly in this universe.
Yeah, so the Dark Tower is very much the same thing. So you have the Dark Tower portal, which is essentially a place where you can go to find out how all the books are tied in. So there's a movie of one of Stephen King's books called Hearts in Atlantis. It's got Anthony Hopkins in it. It's a fucking Oscar bait movie. But they took out all of the Dark Tower shit. And the Dark Tower shit's the most interesting part because it's stuff where, like, if you know about it, well, that's the thing, it's not. It's just like, because the first half of it is about this kid who meets this old man, and the old man is basically hiding, and he tells the kid, he asks him to come and read newspapers for him every day and shit. And he, like, all this weird shit starts happening. There's a bunch of fucking missing animal posters that are put up all throughout the neighborhood. There's these fucking cars that are wrong. They're just wrong. They, like, sound like animals instead of like cars. And there's these dudes that they call the low men in yellow coats that are just like these very strange individuals who wear yellow coats and are very, like, just gangsterish, but they're quiet. It's, like, very strange. And it turns out that all of this shit is, like, stuff that is from, like, very paracausal, and they're, like, things that are outside of our universe and can't be, like, perceived properly, so they exist in this strange, like, these strange forms while visible to us. And they have to find this guy, the guy that the kid is there with, and the guy is what is known as a breaker. Breakers are these people who have psychic abilities that allow them to break the beams within the Crimson Tower, which is the, like, last boss fucking Scarlet Keep of fucking the Dark Tower with the Crimson King and shit. Or the Dark Tower with the Crimson King. It's very fucking weird and interesting, and every book that you read has some connection to the Dark Tower, and if you know where to look, it's so fascinating to see how everything is tied together. Because, like, it is part of it. There's a book called From a Buick 8 that's part of it. That's fucking crazy. From a Buick 8 was such a weird one because it's like, the whole story is about, literally, it's about generations of people caring for this strange vehicle, this Buick 8, that has tire treads that are too, there's something different about them. Like, you can find a perfect pebble that fits inside of that tread and it will fall out every time. You can shove it in there and it will fall out. The steering column is 2 inches too wide for a normal man.
Fucking Stephen King.
Shit like that. Just weird shit. Yeah,
I knew
shit that's slightly off.
I knew all of his books are connected to the Dark Tower. I did know that.
Yeah, it's super interesting. Like, if you read that stuff and you find the connections, they're all really cool.
Yeah, and I've heard that. It's just what little snippets I've seen of Stephen King. I don't know. I need to just read a book and decide for sure if I like him or not. But everything I've
Yeah.
seen about it, it seems so weird.
So
And I
what?
get that's his thing, but
So what?
weird. Like it's
Oh,
just
yeah, for sure.
like the horror kind of
That's
fantasy
why
kind of yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I
Wild.
like it, because the stuff is like, it's unsettling. It's not
Yeah.
horrifying, it's unsettling. I love feeling unsettled when I read something.
That's fair.
Like, creepypastas and shit, I love that. I love all that stuff. I love fucking SCP Foundation. I loved
Oh,
Control.
yes.
Like, oh, you know about SCP Foundation?
Yes, I do, actually.
Oh,
I watch a
you're
lot of
one
videos.
the only
Umbrella
ones.
Academy.
I watch a lot of
Oh, I've seen
videos
it.
and stuff
I
like
just
that
finished it.
on the SCP Foundation, man. A lot of
Oh,
videos.
yeah, dude. Dude, the one that gets me is, ironically, I can't remember it.
Don't tell me it's one of the ones that you're not supposed to, quote unquote, remember.
It's the serpent.
The sea serpent?
Yeah.
Oh my god, yes.
The one that fucking makes you forget?
Yes,
Yeah.
like 2000
SCP
something or not?
3000.
Yes,
It's
3000.
yeah.
There we go. I was reading something or whatever.
It's such a... Dude, the website is so good.
Oh my god, it is. It's...
By order of the Overseer Council, the following file describes a Class 8 cognito-hazardous entity and is level 5 of 3000 classified. Unauthorized access is forbidden.
It's so
Oh
cool,
my god,
dude.
it is 2:30. Okay, this conversation is fun, but I have to get there.
My...
Jesus Christ. Okay, I will talk to you guys later. Have a good night.
No, stay. But for real though, stay.
No, bye.
No. So anyways, SCP Foundation.
Yeah. You should read it. Just this... Damn
Oh
it,
my
Sean.
god.
So good. The area containing SCP-3000, currently a region of the Bay of Bengal, roughly 300 kilometers in diameter, is to be routinely patrolled by Foundation naval vessels. Under no circumstances are civilians allowed to attempt deep-sea exploration or diving efforts in the quarantined area. Individuals believed to have contacted SCP-3000 are to be contained, quarantined and processed at Site-151. Individuals affected by the anomalous properties of SCP-3000 are to be held in containment indefinitely. The Foundation submarine SCP-F Aramida is to monitor the location of the foremost section of SCP-3000, currently located within the Ganges Fan, roughly 0.7 kilometers beneath the bay. The Aramida is tasked with carrying out the ATSAC protocol, and staffing regulations on board the vessel are subject to the guidelines of that protocol. For a full description of the ATSAC protocol, see Addendum 3000.2. There is currently no known cure for exposure to SCP-3000. As such, affected individuals should be contained and quarantined for further evaluation. Individuals stationed aboard the SCP-F Aramida are not permitted to leave the vessel except for the purposes of carrying out the necessary procedures of the ATSAC protocol. Individuals who leave the vessel without proper authorization are to be considered lost. Under no circumstances should any individual interact with SCP-3000 without authorization. Description: SCP-3000 is a massive aquatic serpentine entity strongly resembling a giant moray eel. The full length of SCP-3000 is impossible to determine, but is hypothesized to be between 600 and 900 kilometers. The head of SCP-3000 measures roughly 2.5 meters in diameter, and sections of the body proper are as large as 10 meters in diameter. SCP-3000 is typically a sedentary creature, only moving its head in response to certain stimuli or during feeding. The majority of its body is located in and around the Ganges Fan and rarely moves at all. SCP-3000 is carnivorous, and despite its sedentary nature, is capable of moving quickly to dispatch prey. Despite its size, it is hypothesized that SCP-3000 does not require sustenance to maintain its biological functions. While SCP-3000 excretes a thin layer of viscous 909,